Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love any makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows. And in today's video, I will be creating 4 looks with the new Age of Opulence eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bay. They blessed us with yet another beautiful palette. Packaging on this one, I'm not so sure. I like the hollow up here, but like the rest of it is very like trying to be Pat McGrath. You know what I mean with all this kind of stuff down here. I just feel like it gives me a little bit of Pat McGrath vibes, but maybe that's just me. So packaging aside, the inside color story is absolutely stunning. Of course, they seem to be really knocking it out of the park lately, except for some of they have like some smaller releases in between these palettes that I wasn't really interested in, but this one is beautiful. Very, very similar to the Book of Magic, which I did get last year, and I did a live stream where I did 2 looks of that palette, and the packaging design on that one was definitely better than this one. But that aside, they have some similarities. That one has been discontinued since. It was a limited edition. I think that they've restocked it like here and there. Same with the Wilderness palette. I don't know why they keep just like launching things and then making them limited edition. It just doesn't seem like a smart idea, especially because everyone gets so excited. But this color story does have quite a bit more depth even than the Book of Magic, and there's definitely some differences in between. That one had some greens and some lighter matte shadows, and this one is predominantly darker mattes. We have a dark blue, dark plum, dark burgundy, and a black shadow, and then we have some darker shimmers as well. So first I'm going to show you the 4 looks that I created with this palette, and then I'll give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. I'm going to go in with the Milk Hydro Group eyeshadow primer, taking Hope right into the crease, just blending it into the crease. I'd like to give myself some room so I can blend upwards. And this is the thing I noticed with this Milk Makeup Hydra primer, is that things tend to just like completely blend out to the point where like I don't know if the primer is just swallowing the pigment, but I have to go in and pack on the shade more. Taking Curfew onto the outer corner to deepen it up. That went on so beautiful. Do have some fallout, and I'm going to slowly start blending the edges. And I'm taking a smaller blending brush. I wiped it off to make sure there's nothing on it, and I'm just blending out the edge of that. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more. I feel like it kind of blended away just a little bit, and I'm gonna start blending it into the teal that I put into my crease. But otherwise, this looks really nice out here. I picked up Crush on a flat brush. I'm going to see how it applies. Okay, it's a little chunky. I think I'm going to spray my brush, and I'm gonna use it to do a half cut crease. I'm not too worried about it being too perfect. And going in with a bit more, definitely feel like I need to layer it. And it's starting to look a little textured. I think I put on too much. You can see like right here, I can see it's like flaky. Probably next time would use some sort of pigment primer, glitter primer or something. And I did feel fallout all over my face. Next I picked up Revival, and this one feels so much smoother. A little bit of fallout, but I did not need to wet it, and that applied really nice. This is such a beautiful shade. Taking Curfew under my lower lash line, and then I'm dipping into Lavish, and then Hope right next to that. And I'm gonna bring Crush into my inner corner to use it as a inner corner highlight. I put on the Kiss Bless lashes. In the waterline, I put Denim from Beauty Creations. So here's the first finished look. For the second look, I'm putting on the e.l.f. sticker to guide me. I'm priming with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer on this side. And I'm gonna go in with Flapper right into the crease. Just trying to get as much pigmentation on there. And then I'm using Silk Stockings to help blend out the edge. Back in with a little bit more Flapper. Next I'm taking Speak Easy to the outer corner to deepen that up. Oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful, rich deep shade. Taking a cleaner brush to help feather out this edge so that I'm not adding more product. Picked up some silk stockings and I'm gonna help blend that out. And then going out back in with this brush, which might have just a tiny bit of product left. And look at that depth. I had no blending away issues or anything. And you already know it. We're gonna do another half cut crease. I'm using the Fairnay Pixie Epoxy this time. And I'm making sure to bring it really high so I can see the shimmer when I relax my eye. I like to tap it out just to make sure there's not too much on the lid. You definitely don't want too much product, just like with the NYX Glitter Primer. And I'm going in with Gold first. I'm just taking it where I put down the NYX Glitter Primer. Beautiful, warm gold. I wouldn't say it's like the goldest gold I've ever used. And then I'm taking Ace underneath that. That is such a beautiful combination. Really loving this. Making sure the outer edge is nice and blended, no harsh edges. And I'm taking Speak Easy under my lower lash line. I'm just leaving the sticker on because I put it down low enough where I could get in there. Really want to stay close to my lash line. And then I picked up some flapper. I'll put that right next to that. I'll take the sticker off. And I'm gonna go in with a bit more Speak Easy. Kind of want it to be a little feathered out. Putting Champagne on my inner corner highlight. I actually feel like this one is gold more than Gold Digger. Gold Digger is just like a bronzy shade, but this is more gold. I put on the Kiss Blessed lashes. In the waterline, I have the Plum Eye Pencil from Beauty Creations. Here's a second finished look. On to look number 3, I'm going to use my cut crease sticker from Crown Noir. It is linked down in the description box. I feel like I've definitely gotten a lot better at knowing where to place it. Taking the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer, and I'm only going to be putting it right here above the sticker where I'm going to be going in with eyeshadow first. Going in with Hope first. I'm going to put that right into the inner third of the section of my lid and just blending it. Next to that, I'm going in with Flapper, just a little bit more, kind of mixing them together a little bit and a bit more, and then I'm going to go with Lavish right on the outside section. I think it's a little close to my brow, unfortunately. And I'm going to go back in with Flapper. Just really want to make sure you can see the purple in between. And then I'm going to peel this off. This is the best part, I swear. Next, I'm putting down the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer. And I'm going to use this brush to help spread it around to even out my skin tone on my lid. I technically wouldn't need to do this step. I could just go in with my NYX Glitter Primer. I'm using the same brush and I picked up Lavish. And I'm just going to use it to connect and get a sharp edge and do a wing and just start blending. Really want to make sure you don't have too much product on your brush for this. But it's blending really nicely. And I'm going to take it under my lower lash line as well. Putting down the Fairnay Pixie Epoxy mostly just because I don't want to have to experience too much fallout. Picking up Decadent and I'm putting it closest to my lash line. The shade doesn't seem as sparkly. Oh my gosh, do you see how much it's crumbling? Definitely have to be careful picking this one up. Yeah, it's not like the sparkliest of the sparkly. And then above it, I'm going to go in with Revival. But just a little bit. And then above that, going in with Champagne. So much for not having any fallout. I'm going to take it down as well over here and make sure I have that contrast between the matte and the shimmer. Just going back in with Revival just a little bit. I feel like I kind of lost it. Finishing off this lid with Flapper. That just went right into the crease under my eye, which is not my favorite. And then Hope. And then bringing Champagne as my inner corner highlight. So here's the third finished look. I put on these So Real lashes from Kiss. And in the waterline I have Beauty Creations Plum. Going in with Silk Stockings, I'm just putting that right here on the inner crease. Just focusing it right here because I'm going to be going in with the deeper brown. So dipping into Prohibition. I'm going to start blending that just up here in the crease to create some depth. Picking up RSVP and I'm going to help blend it out here. I didn't mean to take it that far. So just going to blend it out. And we'll create still some. Going back in with Prohibition, just gently blending up. Still haven't used Velvet, so I'm gonna go in with that shade to help create a wing, but I'm gonna be deepening this up with the black. I do wanna get a good idea for how the black is. I'm just taking it all the way across my lid, but making sure I'm staying pretty close to my lash line. I'm going to start bringing it down and just winging it out this way to help create that nice sharp flick outwards. And just backing on more. I'm going to go in with Noir now. And I'm going to pack it on top. And just press it and press it. And just lightly go under my lower lash line and then blend into the purple, and that is so nice and smoky. I love that. Next, taking the Fair & Pixie epoxy, and I'm going to create a fake half cut crease. Gonna bring it all the way just above the wing. Taking Ace, and I'm going to put that right where my liner is. Kind of blending it in with the liner, and then above that going in with Crush. That is just so beautiful and sparkly. I'm gonna go back in with Ace just a little bit, and then I'm gonna make sure that there's no really sparkly eyeshadow on just this section. I don't really mind it in the inner portion. I'm going to take Flapper and put it right underneath the rest of my lower lash line. Here's the fourth finished look. I put on these So Real lashes from Kiss, and in the waterline I have Tiptoe from Beauty Creations. So after creating the 4 looks, I definitely have a lot of thoughts, and kind of mixed thoughts actually. I did use majority of the shadows. I think the only shade I did not use was Jazz, Vintage, and Rich Dandy. So let's first talk about the mattes. I feel like these are better than the Wilderness and Book of Magic mattes. I just feel like I was able to layer them so much easier than even the Wilderness palette. But that one was even better than Book of Magic. But like compared to Book of Magic, I definitely experienced some issues that I tend to experience with thinner matte formulas, which is what the Book of Magic had, which is what I would say the Book of Magic mattes were like. And so there was a little bit of just blending away, not really being able to build deeper shadows. Pretty much would want to go in with a deeper shade and then use a lighter shade to blend it out, but not like layer them. I did not experience any issues. I was actually a little bit afraid on this eye when I went in with Velvet and then with Noir on top. I was afraid that I was going to have some of that trouble, but I didn't. So I'm not sure if they're slowly improving the formula or if this is the same as Book of Magic, because I don't think so. The mattes are very pigmented and they really pack a punch. So I would say go in with a lighter hand. Overall, I do recommend that you do the eyes first and then you do the rest of your face, because even just like a little bit of fleck of the matte that just happens to fall on your face and it will just immediately, like it's really hard to brush off because it's so pigmented. Now onto the shimmers. The shimmers are so beautiful, very, very glitzy. They remind me of the Glamlight shimmers, and actually the reason I say that because I just posted a video with the Dirty Martini palette from Glamlight and I was so excited about those shimmers in there. However, I feel like those are super smooth, but some of these, the way that they pick up and kind of apply, you can definitely apply a little too much and they can look a little flaky and chunky on the lid and accentuate skin texture, but like not in like a really like weird dry way, but like more in like a just too much product way, if that makes any sense. But I still love them, but I just definitely feel like I need to go in with a lighter hand and really try to pick up just a little bit. And even better is a finger application, because that way you really get to smooth it out on top of the lid. And also that does foil these a bit more than with just using a brush. So I'm totally fine with that. I've come to terms that there's just going to be some shimmers that I'm going to prefer to use with a finger, and that is fine. And I use pretty much all the shimmers. And then in this last look, definitely got a bit of fallout even though I put down my Fair & Pixie Epoxy. Like I said, some of these do tend to pick up just a little bit chunky, such as Crush and Revival are the two that I really noticed that. It's just kind of like the moment you put your brush in, it kind of disturbs the pan and they just kind of come up a little bit in pieces. And I almost forgot, but I do also want to note that I right now on one lid have Champagne, on the other Crush, and I feel like once they're on the lid, I can't really tell much of a difference between them. I can see that Champagne is a bit more gold and it looks smoother than Crush, but I feel like having both of them on the lid, even though they're like, you know, with different eyeshadows, but still they're just like not that different. Even though in person, I mean, this has like a pinky gold reflect, but I feel like the gold really gets brought out on the lid, so I don't think that we needed necessarily both of these shades, or had it been more that this one was a bit more pinky. Just my 2 cents. So I feel like I rambled on enough. I think this palette is definitely worth $20. If you missed out on the Book of Magic palette, this is not the same, but I think this is a great alternative if you can't get your hands on that one. I think this palette is well worth $20, and I'm sure it's going to be on sale for even less. So let me know in the comments below which look was your favorite, and if you picked this palette up or do you plan on picking it up. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much indie makeup content up or on my channel and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.